When it comes to the Joker, I would say that he's probably one of my favorite villains in all comic books, including I mean Marvel and DC. Batman continues to be one of my favorite superheroes because I like the idea of of a human being being able to do the feats that he does. Obviously some degree he does have plot armor, of course, but the reason why I prefer reading Batman comics over, let's say, Superman or Wonder Woman is the fact that even though obviously Batman does have to win because of course he is the protagonist, is that every time he gets injured, we get invested because we know that Batman can simply die by a gunshot, or if he, say for example, if his grapple gun doesn't land right, doesn't latch onto something, or even then if he misses and he's literally falling, he could die. And the reason why I like the Joker is not because he's dangerous in the sense that he is powerful, right? The Joker is far from powerful. He's always getting beaten by Batman. He's always getting bested, right? He's to some degree doesn't even pose as much of a physical threat. Granted, in many cases he does have some weapons. He does have his own gang of goons, of the Joker gang or whatever, depending on the comics, right? But the reason why I like the Joker and why I consider him a very dangerous individual is the way he thinks, right? The way he thinks, the way he operates. Now I'm gonna give you a good example. The reason why I like The Dark Knight, it's not because of Heath Ledger's portrayal, but he did play a good job in that, nonetheless, is the idea that he brought the Joker to life in the sense that his ideology, the way he thinks, was a key thing throughout The Dark Knight. And the Joker's always trying to do the same thing in the comics. For example, The Killing Joke. The whole point of The Killing Joke was to prove to Batman that it just takes one bad day, right? One bad day for a simple individual to become psychotic, to become a maniac, to become someone like the Joker. That same theme was prominent in The Dark Knight. Joker, he made the world believe that he had a plan, that he cared about money, that all he wanted was money and that stuff. But in reality, his plan all along, he says he doesn't have a plan, but his plan was to show the world, not even the world, but show Gotham that in reality they're just as crazy as he is. Sure, they act civilized, right? But at the end of the day, all it takes is one bad day to prove that people can become like the Joker, and he did just that with Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent in the beginning of The Dark Knight, he was considered Gotham's White Knight, the man who will save Gotham from corruption the legal way. People like Batman, sure, but the problem is that Batman operated on his own. He had no ties to the government, right? And Batman saw this too. He wanted Harvey Dent to be the hero Gotham needs, one that doesn't have to hide behind the mask, one that will effectively keep the streets of Gotham safe without having to put on a mask and break the law to do so. But the Joker targeted Harvey Dent, not to kill him, but to make Gotham's White Knight and corrupt him, bring him down to his level. And look what happens. He becomes Two-Face. He kills, he literally tries to fix Gotham, fix in quotes, by killing people, right? By killing the corrupt officers that killed Rachel Dawes. In this case, Rachel Dawes was Bruce Wayne's love interest, but also Harvey Dent's. And he also kills, I think, Salvatore Maroni. I think that's what he was. He kills him too. He kills a mobster. Obviously, he was deserving of it. Of course, I didn't like Salvatore Maroni. I mean, the actor was really good, but I didn't like the character because again, he is a criminal, and I do not like criminals in general. So you feel bad in the sense that this is Harvey Dent now, the guy who was championing for getting people locked up the right way, and then he just starts handing out his own form of justice, right? That's why I like the Joker, because the Joker's ideology is applicable to anyone. It could be to anyone. Anyone can be the Joker, and that's why I like him. In the sense that the guy might not be powerful. He can't destroy buildings. He can't level them with his own fist. But what he can do is create anarchy, create chaos, and that's why I like the Joker. A lot of people in this case, when it comes to the new Joker film, people are criticizing Joaquin Phoenix's role, and not to mention the movie in general. In this case, kind of like the leftists, right? The leftists saying that his portrayal in this movie, not to mention, not even his portrayal, but the movie in general, is going to incentivize people to act like the Joker in the movie. Now, if you aren't aware, when it came to the premiere of The Dark Knight Rises, the concluding film of the Nolan trilogy, there was a shootout, and apparently some guy was dressed up like the Joker. You know, he killed like I think 12 people or 11 people, and I think he wounded like another 60 or 70. But it was a really tragic thing. But as you can tell, The Dark Knight Rises, and at that point, Hollywood was still making good movies in the sense that they weren't involving their own political agendas and all this other nonsense. But now everything has to be political, right? In this case, I see this movie as a form of entertainment, not just something to emulate, right? Not just something to copy, but to study. Because again, the reason why I like the Joker is because the guy he makes a point to some degree that people, while they might seem like they're normal, that they might think that, oh, I will never do something like that. When they're desperate, and when you give, and when humans are desperate, when humans are desperate in general, they can become people you don't recognize. I've seen that. I've seen people who are desperate and they do horrendous things that I've never even knew. But the thing is the reason why I'm going to like this movie, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it, I'm going to watch it, I'm going to go in there with an open mind to see, enjoy it, not to criticize it, but the first time just to enjoy it, the second time probably to criticize the movie and the way it's filmed, the narrative, stuff like that, right? But the reason why I feel like I'm going to like this movie as a first impression is the fact that it's going to give us at least a sense that the Joker is going to be like a tragedy, right? A tragic story. A guy who just, tries to live day to day, cares for his mother, tries to make people laugh, and yet the world just keeps pounding him and hitting him, saying, no, you stay down, you're not gonna enjoy the weights of life, and he's just trying to laugh, he's trying to stay happy, try to be positive, and then we all know what's gonna happen. He's gonna become the Joker. But what I'm interested in is, how does this take place? What event in the movie triggers him to say, the hell with it, I'm going to be the Joker, I'm going to become the clown prince of crime? That's what I'm interested in. Not that I'm going to repeat it or emulate it, but that's why I want to see it, because it is one of the few films that I'm probably going to feel bad for the Joker. Feel bad for the Joker in the sense that, not because I'm going to say, like, oh yeah, go Joker's killing 10 people, he's killing 20 people, right? I'm not going to be cheering that on. But it's going to make me feel bad for the guy, for what he becomes, and what he's destined to become. I don't have to feel bad for the Joker in the way that when he starts doing crimes, starts doing horrible things, I'm not gonna feel bad for him by any means. I'm not gonna be cheering him on. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna feel bad for him for the circumstances that led to his transformation. Again, like I said, I have a former friend. The reason why I bring this up is because you can feel bad for someone's circumstances that led to the current state that they are now, but you don't have to feel bad for them for who they are right now. For example, I had a friend. We were close friends through middle school. We drifted apart because he hung out with the wrong people. Apparently, he ended up committing a lot of crimes. Apparently, he ended up, killing a few people, and he's in prison. What happened is that the guy, he just had a lot of things going on, like straight up. His mother died in a car accident. His father left, and he was pretty much left alone. His two brothers, he grew up at that point without any parents at that point. Can you imagine as a teenager, one of your parents dying, and then your father just leaving out of the blue, leaving you under the care of your two older brothers? It's harsh. It's hardening, right? It's heartbreaking. And he ended up doing all these horrible things because of what happened to him, right? His mind, for some reason, it snapped. The guy snapped. That was his bad day. Do I feel bad for the circumstance of what happened to him in the past? Of course I do. But do I feel bad for him in the sense that, oh no, he killed this amount of people. Maybe he's not that bad. No, he's in prison. He really deserves being in prison because of what he did. But I kind of feel bad for him because all those things, if those things weren't to happen, the guy wouldn't be where he is right now. I don't feel bad for his current predicament, but I feel bad for how he became that person. I feel bad for what happened in his past, and now he became the person he is today. That's why I feel like I'm going to like this movie. Not because I'm going to cheer on the Joker when he starts destroying Gotham, right? Or not in destroying Gotham, but starts creating chaos. But I'm going to feel bad for the guy who thinks that this is a guy that had no intention of becoming who he was. It's just that society started to, they didn't let him be happy, right? They didn't let him enjoy life. The world was out to get this guy. A lot of things are going bad in his life, and for some reason, at one point, it snaps. And a lot of people are saying, well, people are going to emulate this. They're going to copy this. And I say no. I do not like people, either conservatives or liberals. In this case, it's the liberals who are trying to boycott this movie and trying to shut it down, right? I'm not a big fan of either side saying, well, movies are going to create this kind of person, or this, or movies are going to do this kind of behavior. They're going to incentivize this kind of behavior. Kind of like when Trump said that video games are going to incentivize more mass shootings. I was pretty pissed off at that. And now I'm pretty pissed off that people are saying that Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal of the Joker and the movie The Joker in general are gonna incentivize people to become the Joker, and I think it's ridiculous. Okay, but I ranted long enough. Let's go on with the article and why Joaquin Phoenix is now walking out of an interview like this. See, of course, I think he came back. But what I heard is that he walked out of an interview because of a question that they asked him. So let's go on. So the article is from MovieWeb and it reads, controversial Joker question had Joaquin Phoenix walking out of an interview. This is from today. Okay, it's from today. Joaquin Phoenix is out promoting the upcoming Joker movie. Doing interviews isn't always the most exciting thing for an actor to take part on, as it's often have to answer the same questions over and over again. Yeah, I can see how that could be annoying. However, Phoenix was caught off guard by one particular question in a recent interview, which prompted him to walk out. While Joker has been getting heaps of praise, there have been some critics who worry that the comic book movie may glorify violence. So, are we gonna start banning, I don't know, let's say God of War? Maybe Red Dead Redemption. We could ban Rockstar altogether. They create games that have titles like Grand Theft Auto. You know, their video game titles are literally the names of crimes. Are we gonna start banning Grand Theft Auto and Rockstar games in general because they incentivize violence? What about John Wick? It has a lot of violence. Let's ban John Wick. What about let's see, Star Wars? They have some violence scenes on there. Let's ban Star Wars. What about Avengers Endgame? That violence will take away Endgame too, and Wonder Woman and Batman, right? Let's cancel. Let's remove all movies with violence because they might incentivize violence. It's ridiculous. I think it's a really, really terrible argument. Joker takes a different approach to the typical origin story for the Clown Prince of Crime. Joaquin Phoenix plays Arthur Fleck, a man who is slowly going mad while society casts him aside. The movie centers on Fleck getting his revenge against his detractors, and there are some who are worried that the movie might inspire people in similar situations to do the same thing in real life. Phoenix was asked if Joker might perversely end up inspiring exactly what the kind of people it's about, with potentially tragic results. Instead of answering the question, the actor got up and left the interview. Joaquin Phoenix later came back and finished the interview after talking with Warner Bros. PR over the question. There have been waves of mass shootings in North America over the past several years. In the summer of 2012, a man stepped into a midnight showing of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight Rises and opened fire on the audience after throwing tear gas in the theater. 12 people were killed and 70 others were injured. There have been 283 North American mass shootings in 2019 alone. So the topic is on the minds of a lot of people, and there is a big debate as to why these shootings keep occurring. I want to know why, honestly. I'm going to take a break. I want to know why these things are happening. But I think blaming movies in general and blaming video games or even comics, I think it's really outrageous. I think it's a matter of the way they're brought up, right? I play video games all the time. I mentioned my love for video games and watching movies constantly on this channel. But do you see me emulating that type of behavior? Do you see me throwing axes and then do you see me throwing like axes, right, and then stretching out my hand hoping it comes back to me? Of course not, right? Do you see me going on my car and then throwing out turtle shells because at other cars because I don't want to get out. I don't want to deal with traffic? Of course not. I don't emulate those things. Why? Because I'm surrounded by people that tell me this is not real. As a kid, I was told by my mom and dad, do not replicate what you do in video games in the real world. This is fiction. Out there, it's real. And look at me. I have not committing a single mass shooting. I have never committed a crime. I have never replicated anything I see in video games. And yet, the video games I play are Grand Theft Auto, God of War, Halo, Red Dead Redemption. So, what? See what I mean? That's why I don't like when people say, well, video games are the cause, or movies are the cause, or comics are the cause. No, I think it's the person in general. I think it's just an isolated event in the sense that people, their mentality, the way they grow up and the way they're raised has a huge factor on whether or not they replicate what they do in video games or what they see in movies. Okay? Again, I'm a good example of how good parenting keeps people from replicating what they do in the video games or in the movies. Okay? All it takes is some good parenting. But apparently they want to blame it on video games in general or movies in general. Conservatives, in many cases, not even conservatives, but baby boomers, because again, canceling, blaming video games on violence isn't even a conservative thing. Sorry, so again, I apologize. It's not even a conservative thing. It's a boomer thing. It's a baby boomer thing. My parents, they grew up with that idea. Oh, video games will create violence, right? And here I am, never to committed a single crime, even though I play Grand Theft Auto a lot, right? I never go on a horse and start robbing stores like it's the Wild West. No, right? All it takes is some good parenting. That's all it takes. Good, but parents nowadays they don't want to parent. They just want to let their kids be. I think that's a problem. But anyways, let's keep going. Regardless, Joker is poised to be a hit at the box office. Joaquin Phoenix's intense process to get into character has been widely talked about, and it took its toll on the actor. He lost 50 pounds to get into the clown prince of crime's mindset. Though, if he had it his way, he would have kept his own weight. It was director Todd Phillips who was pushing for the massive weight loss, which was monitored by doctors and other health professionals. Phoenix drank a lot of water and ate lettuce to shed the pounds. Man, that's a lot of dedication. Joker is hardly the first movie to get caught up in real controversy and will be far from the last. Blumhouse's The Hunt was supposed to hit theaters at the end of this month, but the studio decided to pull the movie after a wave of mass shootings and death threats. At first, the promotional campaign had been paused, and then the movie was canceled altogether. Jason Blum hopes to have the movie released at some point, though there is currently no release date. The interview with Joaquin Phoenix was originally conducted by The Telegraph. So that concludes the article. But like I said, I like the Joker. I think that even though the guy's not powerful, the concept of what he does, it makes a lot of sense. And that's coming from a character that's always chaotic. But you have to agree that some people always have their bad days. There's always going to be those people that are just, for one reason, they're happy, they're enjoying their lives, and then just one bad thing happens, and next thing you know, they go on a downward spiral, and they end up becoming someone like the Joker. That's why I like the Joker, and that's why I also fear him, in the sense that anyone can be the Joker. Anyone can snap. Anyone can become a homicidal maniac. That's why I like him, and that's why I'm also afraid of his character as well. I like him in the sense that even though he's not one of Batman's more powerful characters and enemies, the guy is very dangerous. The Dark Knight demonstrated it, clearly. That's why I like Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker, and also the message was there. Anyone can have a bad day and they can become insane. Just look at Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight. Look at The Killing Joke. Now look at this origin movie of the Joker. The guy is going to lose his mind at some point. There's no doubt about it. That's what's called Joker. But I want to know why it happens. I want to know why this guy loses his mind. I'm interested in what happens that leads to the transformation. But let me know what you guys think about this. So if you like this video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, the subscribe button, that way, and hit the notification button as well, that way you never miss an upload. But the best thing you can do, and I said in every video, is share the video because YouTube likes to derank independent political commentary. I'm pretty sure they're going to derank this one because I'm bringing up politics, criticizing both sides, of course, but I'm pretty sure they're going to derank it anyways. So you sharing the video lets me know that you like my content, you want other people to hear what I have to say, even though we won't always agree, because again, we all have different opinions, we all are entitled to our different opinions, and you have every right to disagree. I'm not going to force you to think the way I do, but again, you sharing the video again lets me know that you want other people to hear my point of view. But again, like and subscribe, that's a good thing you can also do, but sharing the video is the best thing you can do. This is going to be the last segment for tonight. Hopefully, I'll see you guys at a later time, probably tomorrow if I have some new articles for you guys, and if not, the latest I'll probably be able to do is Tuesday at the latest. But again, I am also busy with school and work, so hopefully, I'll see you guys at a later time. Have a good rest of the night, you guys. Stay awesome.